What's good? You already know what it is. The Christian Misfits out here. You got me. You got Yvonne back at it. It's been a minute since we did an actual video. We actually sat down, had the camera set up and everything. So we're just slowly going back into it. But we have a certain topic what we wanted to talk about today. It was about our view versus God's view. Yeah, so it's gonna be our view versus God's view. That's pretty interesting. Yvonne's gonna start it up. I'll add on some things afterwards, but we'll see how things goes.
Cool. To get it cracking, like Noah said, the topic is God's view versus our view, and what I mean by that is basically our way of seeing things and God's way of seeing things. And of course, as we know as Christians, we have to follow God's way no matter what. It's either God or us. He gives us a choice, but we have to follow him. And following God is, of course, following his word. So saying that, let me start off with a verse. So the first verse I'll read will be in Mark 8, chapter 8, verse 34 to 35. So I'll read in the name of Jesus. It says, after calling the crowd together with his disciples, Jesus said to them, all who want to come after me must say no to themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. All who want to save their lives will lose them, but all who want to lose their lives will save them. Because of me and because of the good news, we'll save them. So basically, Jesus was speaking to the crowd in this verse, and what I want to just put emphasis on for this whole verse is just the fact that he says, all who want to come after me must say no to themselves, and they must pick up their cross. So as Christians, we have to pick up our cross, and we actually have to say no to ourselves. We can't live according to our way. So we have our own way of seeing things, but we can't indulge into that. It's just not smooth, and it won't get you anywhere. So what I mean by that is, okay, let me just start with a quick example. So God asks us to do a lot of things, right? And those things are good things. And a lot of times we neglect what God asks us to do because for us it's a little thing. And the thing is, in front of God's eyes, there's no such thing as a little thing. Like sin is sin to God. Like we said a lot of times, like there's zero tolerance for sin. No matter what it is, God does not like sin at all. There's zero tolerance. There's no bigger sin. There's no smaller sin. Sin is sin. Evil is evil. My mom actually gave me a good example, and she told me, she told us, we're together. She said, for example, if someone baked a cake, a lot of people like cake, blessed, but now you're baking that cake and you put all the ingredients in, but you changed one ingredient and you put a small bit of that ingredient, and the small thing you add on to the cake is a small little piece of dog poo that you just put in the batter. You just mix it up a bit, but you can't even taste it, but it's added a small piece of dog poo, just a teensy little piece, and you add it into the cake mix, and you bake the cake after. Ask yourself, would you eat that cake? Would you eat it, Noah? Heck no, none of us are gonna eat that. That's disgusting, unless you're mentally troubled. But in a normal person's eyes, they're not gonna eat it. Now the same thing goes with God. Now the thing about us is, okay, we say it, yeah, we don't want to fornicate, we don't go to the club, we don't murder, we don't steal, we don't do any of these big sins according to the world. But the little things, the things that we find little, God doesn't find little. So these small things, just as lying, small things as bad thoughts in your head, small thing as quarrels, disputes, lack of forgiveness, all those things do count as well. These are just examples that I'm giving out, but these things are things that we actually have to inspect in our lives. We actually have to step back and look back into our lives and ask stuff, hey, am I truly living for God at 100% like he wants me to, or there's some little things that I have to fix in my life? Because of course none of us are perfect, but it doesn't mean that we can indulge in certain things. We can't get comfortable in certain things. Some people are comfortable in being disobedient. Some people are comfortable into being, not forgiving. Some people are even comfortable into having anger management problems. And that's not good. It's not good at all. God, He came to heal you from these things. That's why when you pray to Him, when you get closer to Him, He heals you from that. But if you aren't taking that step, and God, He always takes the step. It's up to you not to take that step and actually take the decision to say, hey, I'm gonna change. And obviously, you can only do it through God, but you have to take that step. Now, the thing is, you can't take that step if you're comfortable in what you're doing. Because a lot of times we think that those things are small. God doesn't care, but God cares. The Bible's clear on all these things. And of course, like, I'm not coming and saying like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. There's a why behind it. The why is because God asked you to do it. It's simple as that. Now, a lot of people are gonna say, we talk about sin a lot, we talk about hell a lot, but that stuff's important. When Jesus Christ was on this earth, what did He speak about? He spoke about the kingdom, nothing but the kingdom. Everything that God said always revolved around the kingdom. It always involved the kingdom of God. And He always spoke about either making it into heaven with His Father, or dying eternally, which is the second death, and weeping and grinding your teeth forever. And that's the word that we forget, forever. Now, let me ask you this question. Would you come and offer God a nice cake, which is your life, and that cake, you don't steal, you don't fornicate, you don't go to the club, you feel like you're a nice person, like, I'm an untouchable Christian, but at the same time you have anger issues. At the same time you tell a little bit of lies, and you present it to God as a cake. God's not going to take it. He doesn't want any of that. That's disgusting. In God's eyes, He sees sin as disgusting. It's evil. He does not like evil, and God cannot live with evil.
Zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance. Like we say, God's holy, 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 holy. People say God is 3 times holy. He's not 3 times holy. He's holy, holy, holy to infinity. You can't calculate it. There's no solution for it. But like, as I was saying, like, it's super important to truly inspect our lives and that stuff. What are these things that we're doing that we find that are small that we got comfortable into doing, We actually have to inspect our lives and ask ourselves, like, hey, like, do I lie sometimes? Do I have bad thoughts in my head sometimes that I'm not supposed to have? Did I change the way I act maybe, and like I got comfortable into it? And it's super important for us to take that into consideration and to truly change for God. Because if we don't change, if we don't make that step, then hell awaits for us. And the devil wants you to be in that, like, he wants you to be lost. He wants you to be comfortable. He wants you to be used to what you're doing. Because once you're used to it, you forget that it's the wrong. But that's why it's important for us to pray to God and to actually have a relationship with Him and ask Him, hey God, like, reveal to me what I'm doing wrong. Reveal to me like what I need to change in my life. Guide me through what I have to do. And once you get closer to God, once you start praying to Him, He'll reveal all these things to you. But you have to make it a preoccupation. It's not just gonna come out of nowhere. And that all goes back to your spiritual life in general. Like, a lot of times we go, but we're gonna fall. And for a Christian's life, all of us are always gonna fall regardless. So you can't say that I'm perfect, I'm not doing anything wrong, because all of us, even me, even though we all fall, but we all have to get back up. That's why it's important for this to be like a consistency type of thing, like truly praying to God and asking Him, like, consistently, like, what am I doing wrong? What do I have to fix? What do you want me to be? What should I do this time? And God, He will answer you because we're His children. So it's truly important what I'm saying. Like, the main thing is truly like doing things according to God's will, because when we say no to ourselves, that means we say no to our flesh. And all these worldly things that we do, like I read in this verse, all these worldly things that we do, it's all fleshly things. It all comes out from the flesh. It doesn't come from the spirit. And I can give an example for that if I read in Galatians 5:19, going forward. Just give me a moment, I'll get there quickly. The actions that are produced by selfish motives are obvious. And by selfish motives, we're talking about the flesh. They're talking about flesh and the spirit. But this is what the flesh produces. It says the actions that are produced by selfish motives are obvious, since they include sexual immorality, moral corruption, doing whatever feels good, idolatry, drug use and casting spells, hate, fighting, obsession, losing your temper, competitive opposition, conflict, selfishness, group rivalry, jealousy, drunkenness, partying, and other things like that. I warn you, as I've already warned you, that those who do these kind of things won't inherit God's kingdom. So now, it's not me just trying to come tell you don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. It's me trying to tell you, it's me giving you examples of things that we do on the regular and that we get comfortable doing. Some people go to parties and they're comfortable doing that. Some people get drunk sometimes and they're comfortable doing that. But as Christians, we can't be doing that because that's what your flesh wants. But in order for you to truly follow God, you have to say no to your flesh. You have to do things that the Spirit wants. And if I read Lord, this is what the Spirit does. So it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against things like this. Those who belong to Christ have crucified the self with the passions and its desires. So these verse, they link. The Bible, it interprets itself. Now, as I was saying, when Jesus said, say no to yourself, say no to the flesh, and to follow him, when you truly follow God, you truly follow Jesus Christ properly, then you're going to be filled with love, faithfulness, peace, goodness, self-control, and that's things that are going to dominate in you. And that's what a Christian life is supposed to, spread out. But once you have just one of these little things that are produced by the flesh that you're living in constantly, then you're not truly living for God properly. You're not truly following him. And we have to follow God. See, now, for God, it's zero tolerance, but for us, we see things as, oh, you know what? Maybe I can get away with this one. Maybe I can get away with this, but it's not like that. We don't live according to our ways. We can't bring our ways to God. God has his way, and he won't change it. He's God. He's God Almighty. We can't do anything about it. We either follow him or we don't. If you don't do one thing that God asks him, then you're not following him. We have to follow him at 110%, like we always say. There's no room for compromisation. We can't compromise with God. He's holy, 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 like I said. You have to follow God at 100%. You have to say no to yourself to follow God. If you don't say no to yourself, if you look at things on your own view, on how you want things to be done, then you're going to go to hell because you're doing things according to your flesh. But we have to be led by the Spirit. That's why I said it's important for us to pray to God and to tell him, fill us up. Hey, Jesus, fill me up, lead me, help me, show me what I have to do, show me what I have to do, and to truly have a prayer life and truly have like a relationship with God.
I think I can add on from what Yvonne said was to truly make that first step to truly want to live for God. Because if you don't actually make that first step, then that's when things can truly be over for you. You truly have to make that effort to actually want to go out and live for God. Because God, he's basically there just waiting for you. He's waiting, knocking at the door. But if you're not going to be there, that's trying to open the door to let him into your life, then it's not going to work out. Like we always say, you can try to live 99%, and then you lack in one thing. Like let's say that you live for God and everything, but you envy people at the end of the day. That's not going to allow you to open up the door to let Jesus into your life. It doesn't work like that. You truly have to let that go in order for you to truly want to live for God, because that's what God's waiting for at the end of the day. We have to make that effort, but a lot of us, we expect God to do the effort for us, which is something that's pretty bad, because a lot of us are lazy. Like we're pretty much lazy Christians in this generation. Like we don't want to do all the work. We want God to do the work for us. But we have to understand is that we have to make that effort to get to where we want to be. I brought up the university example. You actually have to make that effort to get into university. You have to make that effort to actually want to pass your exams. Because the professors, the teachers, and all that, the schools, they're not going to do all that work for you. You have to do your part at the end of the day. When you live for God, you have a certain part, you have a certain goal, a certain calling to do. You have to do it at the end of the day. But if you're not living for God, if you don't actually make that first step, then they won't go wrong for you. What are you really offering to God when you try to live for him? Because living that double standard lifestyle, it doesn't work. Like I even said in another video, there's a lot of people that do different things that they think is okay, or that they think that they can pretty much sneak with it, like Yvonne said. Like they think that they can get away with it, but at the end of the day, God he's just there. He's looking at you and like he's crying. He's pretty much upset the fact that you're still allowing parties to come into your life, bad entourage to come into your life, heavy drinking, heavy smoking. If you allow these things to come into your life or to stay into your life, then things, they won't end well. You're not truly growing properly. Some people, they like to seduce other people on social media. There's so many different stories, there's so many different examples when it comes to this certain topic. But we have to understand is that we truly have to let go of everything to truly want to live for God. As annoying as people may find it, it is what it is at the end of the day. Because a lot of us, even when I first started, like when I found out that I truly had to let go of everything, I was like, yo, I don't know if I can do it, yo. But like, it is what it is at the end of the day when it comes to living for God. And once you actually like put in the effort, spend your time in His Word, in His presence, stuff like that, and like you just put all your focus on Him, because you have to desire living for God at the end of the day. Once you have that, then that's when you're truly going to want to be pushed away from the parties, the drinking, the lust, the fornication, the pornography, all those types of things. Like,
it's not gonna feel right anymore.
It's not gonna feel right anymore, because that spirit that's filling up, it's gonna convict you of the certain things that's going on that's not right. And people they recognize that, when like I would hang out with certain people, and by the actions that we portray, that we produce, they know, because some people, they see the way we act, so like they move differently and stuff like that. But like that's how it is at the end of the day, because they know what they're doing is wrong, but they still do it anyways. You can't do that. It's a sin. Understand it? It's a sin. If you continue to live, if you continue to do a certain wrongdoing and you still do it and you know that it's bad, it's a sin. We can't do that. And at the same time, you want to call yourself a Christian, it doesn't work like that. At the end of the day, people can always say, oh, you know, it's between me and God and whatever, but like what's there is what's there. And we're not gonna act like everything's okay. We gotta tell you how it is at the end of the day. Understand is that we can't continue to live, to keep these type of things in our lives, and it's not bringing us any closer to God. And some people, they need to hear this video, because who knows what they can be going through. And some people, it's only gonna get them closer. I pray that for those people that are actually going through things, that they may actually make that decision to truly want to get closer to Him. It doesn't matter what you go through. Some people have issues with partying. Some people have issues with secular music that opposes your faith. Some people have issues with stealing, having hatred in their minds, looking at people lustfully. Like there's so much different things. There's even a verse. Just points out a few things. Also get rid of your anger, hot tempers. It's wrong to have a hot temper. You're not born with that. Hatred, cursing. A lot of people love to curse. It's not good to curse. Like, imagine you live for God and everything. Like, you're living 99.9%, like you always say, but you offer yourself to God and you curse. Like you're not gonna go anywhere with that, like at all. Like, you're not gonna be in heaven and then you're gonna be walking around cursing. It's not right. I know it's a bad habit for some people, but at the end of the day, when it comes to living for God, you gotta train yourself. Even in the Bible, it says God's gonna mold you in the way He wants you to be. Once you put the practice in, that's when things will go. That's when things will get better for you. Think obscene language and similar sins. Don't lie to each other. You gotten rid of the person you used to be and the life you used to live. Understand is that we can't continue to carry on that lifestyle that we used to live when it comes to living for God. We have to carry the cross. You have to deny yourself, no matter how bad, no matter what you're doing that's wrong. For the people that are watching this video and like you got introduced to partying or smoking or whatever, but this might be a warning to you that it's gonna have to be your last day doing it. But that's how it is at the end of the day. Always make that effort. Always push yourself. No matter how bad it is, you gotta push yourself. There's a lot of people on social media. There's a lot of people you're gonna meet, pastors, motivational speakers. They're always gonna tell you how bad do you want it, how bad do you want this, how bad do you want that. There's always certain motivations, because they know, they see how much it is for you to actually press on to certainly get to a certain type of goal. And it's the same thing when it comes to living for God. And that's probably the biggest goal out there, because it's not easy to live for God in the generation that we are today. All the things that the world offers, it's pure garbage, all influenced by the devil, it's pure seduction, just for us to fall so we can go and help with the devil. And there's no point of that. But we don't see that as Christians or even as human beings, because our eyes and our minds, like, we're limited. We only see things in the physical. Of course, God will reveal certain things, but generally we only see things in the physical. But the thing about God, He sees things in the spiritual. He's the creator of all these things, so He knows what's the bigger picture when it comes to that. So understand is that you actually have to put your faith onto Him, because once you put your faith onto Him and you trust and you put all your trust in Him, that's what truly pleases Him. Like, even the Bible says faith, it can move mountains. Like, for someone to have faith in God, like, that's gonna please Him so much, it's gonna make Him happy. So that's one thing I encourage you guys, man. Understand is that, like, this life, it's no joke. Like, we're 21 years old, about to turn 22. We wouldn't be doing this for no reason. Like, if there was no point of this, then who knows where we'd be right now. But yeah, just continue to press on, because at the end of the day, God, He cares about those that are willing to want to live for Him, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
To recap it, just to close it, basically the whole point of this message is for us to truly take the time to understand that we have a way of seeing things and that God has His way of seeing things. the way God sees things is not the same way we see things. But the way God sees things is how things actually are, because He's the creator. He created everything. The way we see things is according to our own flesh and our own thoughts. Our minds are limited. And the way God sees things, it's in the Word of God. That's why we read these chapters and everything. That's what we actually follow. The Word of God is Jesus Christ Himself. That's who we follow. So it's important for us to truly take God seriously and truly analyze our lives and say no to all these little things that we're doing. Say no to this compromisation or to these things that we got comfortable into doing. These things that we find small, to God it's not small. To God, sin is sin. So we actually have to take the time to truly take God seriously and analyze our lives and see everything that we're doing wrong. Because all of us, there's none of us that are perfect. We all struggle with stuff. We all struggle with this and that. But at the same time, we have to strive and truly have the will and the desire to truly please God. And once we show Him that, and once we actually pray to Him and ask Him, God, can you show me what's wrong? Can you show me what I'm doing? Can you lead me how I have to be? Can you fill me up, please, Holy Spirit? And God sees that, then He'll truly guide you where you have to go. And He'll reveal to you those little things that you think that are little, that you actually have to change in your life. Because when you go to heaven, like I said with the cake, you would not eat cake that has dog poo in it. Even if it was a tinsy bit of dog poo, you would say no, because that's disgusting. So you cannot offer your life to God with like a little bit of sin. Insy bits, no, God will not take it. He'll reject you. Not at all. With God, it's zero tolerance for sin. God is holy, holy, holy. He wants us to be holy. We cannot make it into heaven if we're not holy. Not at all. So we truly have to inspect our lives, truly ask ourselves, what are we doing wrong? What did I get comfortable? What did I get caught in doing? And if you fall in, you have to get back up at 100%. You have to follow Christ at 110%. That's how this Christian life is. I don't know if we're looking at anything else.
Yeah, make sure you gotta cross-examine yourself. You know, like we always say, it's important to cross-examine yourselves. Make sure to ask God, you know, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Because, like Yvonne said, you can't offer yourself up to God and then you have that one small sin in your lifestyle, because God's not going to take you if you have that. You know, you can try to outsmart Him all you want. You can try to be sneaky with it and like be perfect with everything else, but that one small sin is there. Like for example, like cussing or envy and all of that. It doesn't work like that. Like I said, like when you go through an airport and you know, they scan the bags, or like even if you go to a big event, like they scan your belongings, even yourself. If there's something that they've scanned that's wrong, that you're carrying with you, it's gonna beep and like they're gonna back you up, or like they're gonna empty your bag and stuff like that. It's the same thing when it comes to God. If you try to offer yourself up to God, He's gonna point out that one sin that He sees in you. It doesn't matter if you're living 99% and everything's blessed, you think that life's okay, because some people, they think that like their Christian life is okay, the fact that they're doing everything else good, but that one thing that's truly ruining their lives, they're keeping it with them and they don't want to let go of it. God's gonna point that out and you won't be able to go to heaven. It's just how it is. It's just that simple. You can't carry that onto your life. You actually have to take it out, make the effort that you really want to live for God. You know, the world, it has nothing to offer. You know, you can't go to heaven and like, you know, you're cussing or like you're smoking or like you're drinking heavily and like, you know, you're walking around, you hear Rihanna.
No.
Like it doesn't work.
Or you're gonna walk around with a crop top and
like
to seduce people. This is not gonna
yeah.
None of that in heaven. So
you can't be doing that. Like, you're not gonna walk around and then you think that this is Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah,
you know?
Understand
is that we truly have to be mindful. We truly have to have the desire to want to live for God. We have to be pure when we offer ourselves onto God. Like I said before, once God sees that you're truly willing to want to live for Him, then that's when everything will be blessed. So that's one thing I want to add on for that, man. We pray that you guys will be blessed. We pray that you guys take care. Make sure to take your life serious. If you know something's wrong in your life, make sure to repent to God, asking forgiveness, and you know, to cross-examine yourselves daily. But if you're not aware, you should be able to cross-examine yourselves as well. Ask God to reveal to you, you know, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, because that's what matters all at the end of the day. This is all for God's glory. We pray that you guys be blessed. Y'all take care.
Remember, it's all about the consistency.
Yeah.
So this prayer request that we're telling you to do to God, asking Him to truly reveal to you what you're doing wrong, all this stuff, it all has to be a consistent lifestyle in your Christian walk. It has to be consistent.
It's not something you can ask like once every month.
No.
Like it has to be like a daily thing, because you know, we sin pretty much every day, and us, like, we're not aware of what's really going on. You know, for us, like, we can't contain all those things in our brains because we're not God. But yeah, y'all take care. Y'all be blessed. Take your life serious as always.
Much love or